I believe, 1922. So it's approaching a 100-year piece of hardware, which is
Wow.
pretty significant. The Flyers competed in the Koi Cup a number of times throughout their history and had never won it until we won it in Fort Nelson in 2015. And then we subsequently won it the next year in Terrace in 2016.
Wow.
The Flyers have only hosted the Koi Cup once previously in 1994. I watched every game, and it was very exciting hockey. The Flyers didn't make it to the final that year, but so we're very excited that it's back in Fort St. John.
Yeah, and it's just shy of, what would it be, 4 years shy, 5 years shy of 30 years since it's been here.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes, exactly.
I have a hard time thinking the '90s was 30 years ago,
Yeah.
so I got to slowly kind of mass that out. But so it's been 25 years since it's been in Fort St. John, so that's phenomenal. Now you guys are having a fundraiser gala where people can purchase tickets. I'm assuming, get involved, maybe sponsor, donate.
That's right. We're hosting a fundraiser at the Pomeroy Hotel on Saturday, February the 2nd. We're planning a dinner and a silent auction, 50-50. There'll be music, and we're looking for any sponsorship out there to assist us in our fundraising efforts. It costs quite a bit of money to host an event like this. We're responsible for a portion of the visiting team's travel and hotel accommodations and looking after them. So that doesn't go without considerable costs. So we're looking for any sponsorship out there. Tickets for the event are $30 for a single, $50 for a couple. There'll be a great meal at the Pomeroy.
Yeah.
We actually have a bit of a fire sale price break on right now. If you get your tickets right away, up to and including Saturday's game, tomorrow night's game against the Grimshaw Huskies, there's a $10 reduction in the price. So basically a ticket is $20 for a single and obviously $40 for a couple. So a bit of a price break.
Really cheap.
So
That's a cheap event.
So we're hoping the community will support us as they always have for pretty much everything we do, and help us out, and we'll see what happens on February the 2nd.
Good. So that's so February 2nd is the gala. What do we know who the out of town team is? Has that already been released?
It has not. There'll be 3 other teams. It's a 4-team tournament, and it runs from March 26th until March 30th. So there are 2 games per day on the Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
Oh, wow.
And then 1 team will be eliminated out of that. The other 2 will play in a semifinal on the Friday night. And then the winner of the round robin would play the semifinal winner in the championship final on Saturday. So we don't know who any of the other 3 teams are. Often it takes quite some time, and it's almost a last-minute decision because, for example, if the winner of the Central Interior Hockey League, which includes Smithers, Terrace, Quesnel, Williams Lake, the winner of that, if the winner of that league is coming to the Koi Cup, well, we might not know that team until the middle of March. So we don't know any of the other participants yet.
Okay. But it's going to be some phenomenal hockey right here in Fort St. John.
It's great hockey. It's great hockey. Senior AA hockey is very good. For those of you who've watched the Flyers play this year, it's a very competitive league, really good hockey. A lot of great players who have played pro in their previous lives, scattered throughout the league, including on our team. And it's really it's very high level hockey.
That's awesome. What age are the seniors Flyers? Like, what age is the almost admittance age or the average age?
Typically, Flyers players will graduate from junior, which is 21 years old, kind of thing, and then they'll. So typically, we won't have players younger than that unless we affiliate them. So, for example, we're allowed to affiliate players, and we have an agreement with the Huskies, and we've affiliated some players for some games when we've been shorthanded.
Oh, okay.
But as a regular player, typically 21 years plus. So we've had some guys play into their 40s, and terrific hockey players even at that age. So
that's awesome. So
like
and
Tom
locals,
Brady
right? I mean,
football.
But it's all local people that are, either in the community, come back to the community, like you said, after their careers were done, or you know what I mean, they've retired maybe from more of a professional line and coming back to still be in competitive hockey.
Well, that's right, and that's been the case over the years. I mean, you look at the early years when people like Rod Fontaine and Jimmy Anderson came to town. They had played pretty high levels of pro hockey, and then came to Fort St. John to play hockey and go to work. Gordon Stratty's another prime example. He came up here to play, and then built a business, and his family
lived here for a
still
long
here.
time.
So that's kind of the history of the Flyers. Is often some of the really good players have gone elsewhere and come back to finish up their careers. The other thing is, typically that's the path that's taken.
Very cool. What is the turnout for the games been like this year? Has it been, I know things are a little bit busier now in work wise and in the oil patch and gas. And have you seen any decreases, or have you seen any increases happen this year?
We typically get around 200 to 300 fans for a game. Sometimes if it's a midweek game, it'll be a little less than that. So we haven't really seen too much of a difference. Flyers fans are Flyers fans, so they'll come as long as the weather's decent. But we're hoping for pretty good crowds for the Koi Cup. There'll be. We're hoping for 500 plus people at each game, and then perhaps the evening games where we're playing well in excess of that.
Oh yeah, well, and I think there should be. I mean, it's going to be, if it's right in March, what are we right up to? Just before spring break, so people are still around. They're not gone yet. Kids are still in school, so evening games are going to be perfect. And it's what are the ticket prices like? I mean, has that been laid out yet? Is it?
It has. We've just we're in the process of launching our tickets through Energetic Tickets and through Adam and the Moose, and a general admission ticket package for all 8 games will be $135.
That's cheap.
And a reserve seating package for all 8 games would be $175. So you could choose your seat for the whole tournament. You don't need to arrive early, and you can just go right to your seat for the whole tournament. So pretty reasonable prices for the high level of hockey that we're going to have.
Agreed. Yeah, no, I mean, even your guys, like I said, your gala, very, very cheap tickets going towards a good cause. And then, of course, being able to watch the games and pick your seats is pretty beautiful. So that's happening March
26th to 30.
March 26th to the 30th.
Starts on a Tuesday, and the final game is a Saturday night.
Beautiful. Good. So, yeah, so you can, if people want to get more involved, they can probably check out your guys' Facebook page at FSJ Senior Flyers.
Yep.
Or, like you said, the tickets are going to go on sale with Energetic Tickets next week,
on Monday.
On Monday,
Yep.
So Monday next week. So people will want to grab their tickets fast. Where can they get tickets for the gala at?
The gala tickets are available at Black Ace Supply, the business that Lee Hartman owns, co-owner, and also at the local Honda dealership, Fort St. John Honda. Tickets available there, and then you can contact me for tickets.
Good.
All the information's on Facebook, and we'll have it on Energetic City as well.
And how have ticket sales been going? I know Fort St. John's kind of a last-minute town for galas and stuff. Is it been going okay for tickets?
We just got the tickets from the printer last night, so they're just in our hot little hands. But from our Facebook post, we did receive a confirmation through that 17 people are going so far. So that was the first day.
Yeah.
So it's just... but that's not an official count, but at least it gives us a bit of an indication.
Oh, yeah. How many tickets are going to be available in total?
That's a good question. I'm not sure. Yeah, several hundred.
Yeah, several hundred.
Yes.
But that probably includes a lot of the players as well, I would imagine. So if people want to get involved in that, get a ticket. And like you said, if they're at the game, it saves them $10 off that ticket. So it's a really, really cheap event and a good way to support a local community. You can check them out on FSJ Senior Flyers, or, of course, pick them up at Black Ace or at Honda here in Fort St. John. So either of those locations. So, Paul, thank you very much for being on the show. I wish you guys a very successful remainder of the season. I'll certainly take part in the games of the Koi Cup, because I think when you get that kind of action and entertainment locally for that kind of money, it costs more to do pretty much anything else than it does to take in those 4 days. So appreciate you coming on, and I wish you guys all the best.
Thank you very much, Trevor. Appreciate it very
Talk
much.
to you soon. Beauty.
Listen to over 500 radio stations from anywhere in Canada with Radio Player Canada, the must-have app that's as Canadian as you are. Funny, well-informed, dominating the music scene at the gym or in the car. Enjoy every type of radio station, anywhere, anytime. Listen through your phone, Sonos, Google Chromecast, Google Home, Amazon Echo, Apple CarPlay, and Android Auto. Download the Radio Player Canada app today. It's where Canadian radio plays.
For all your sports nights in with the crew, keeping the peace family dinners, and totally collapsing into the couch weekday meals, Panago has a combo for that. Featuring pizzas made with 100% organic tomato sauce, pork and chicken raised without the use of antibiotics, cheesy breads, salads, vegan, gluten-smart options, and more. Panago's combos are back, starting at $25. Find your perfect winter combo at panago.com or download the Panago app. On now.
Oh, can't believe this winter, eh? Oh, I know. The snowdrifts are taller than my car. Almost need a moose to ride to work, man. Hey, there's one now.
Find your toques and snow brush. The Backcountry Community Cruiser is going to be at events all winter long. Bundle up and join Moose FM at the best local events in the Peace region. Fundraisers, concerts, festivals, and more.
What about hockey at the ODR?
We can be there too. If you've got an event coming up, let us know so we can show up and join the party. Email cruiser@moosefm.ca. The Backcountry Community Cruiser, your guide to excitement throughout the Peace, is brought to you in part by Totem Mall, Micro Consulting Sales and Services, and Moose FM.
Backcountry is once again proud to host the City of Fort St. John's High on Ice Ice Fishing Derby, Sunday, February 17th at 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Charlie Lake. This is sure to be a great family day weekend event with over $1,500 in prizes to be won. Look for the Backcountry banners near Rotary Park at the south end of Charlie Lake for the final weigh-in station. But before you go, head to Backcountry for all your rods, reels, tackle, bait, augers, ice huts, and licenses, and get practice up for the Derby. Backcountry, where we help you enjoy the great outdoors.
Safety, peace of mind, staying connected. That's what you want when you're on the road, right? Well, that's what you get with the new TELUS Drive Plus from Petron Communications. The TELUS Drive Plus is a small device that plugs into your vehicle and keeps you safe with diagnostic information about your car's health. It gives you peace of mind by tracking your vehicle's location, and you'll always stay connected with the Wi-Fi hotspot so your family can stream, call, and text on the road. TELUS, powered by Petron Communications on Alaska Road.
Watch this show live on Facebook or download the podcast at Energeticcity.ca. This is Trev Talks with Trevor Bolin.
Welcome back to the show. We're just took a quick commercial break, wrapped up with Paul Van Nosteren. So again, just to recap on that, check them out, FSJ Seniors, FSJ Senior Flyers on Facebook. Get involved in both their gala that they're having as well as the Koi Cup. So it's not very often that kind of league of hockey is presented and so affordable to get involved in. So coming up next, we have Gordon Duke from he's the managing director of the North Peace Airport. Gordon, are you there?
Yes, I am, Trev.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us this morning. We're going live on Moose FM as well as podcast for Energetic City that people can catch us later if they don't get a chance to hear us now. So we were talking a little bit, and I mean, you've been a little bit in the news lately. The airport's been a little bit in the news for the increase in traffic that you guys have seen 2018 over, I guess, 2017 or prior years. That's huge news, and congrats to you and congrats to your team on those kind of numbers.
Well, thanks, Trev, and I appreciate the opportunity to come on your show and talk with you about this.
Now,
the last few years have been a bit of a roller coaster in terms of passenger numbers, but we are very pleased with 2018 coming in at over 268,000. And like you said, is a 6% increase over 2017 and our best year ever.
And that's huge. Like when you think 268,000 people in a city of 20,000, in an complete area population of 40, those are huge numbers of the people that are utilizing our local airport.
I like to say that YXJ, we're punching above our weight class.
We certainly are.
With that kind of catchment area and those numbers, to have over 268,000 passengers, and that's just for the commercial operation. the workplace charter operation drives another significant amount of passengers.
Okay, and that would be like the charters, the private flights, that sort of thing is on top of that 268,000.
Yes, I'm referring to the workplace charters that we handle. Now, they don't go through the main terminal building, but we do get benefit from having that operation here. Some of them spend money in the terminal before they depart on their flight. So certainly it's a contributor to the overall health of the operation here.
So, and that's interesting. I'm glad you brought that up. So, I mean, that 268,000 is based on commercial flights of people. It's not large companies with their own planes coming in that you see a lot of people talk on Facebook. This is people flying in or out of Fort St. John, whether it be for work or vacation or family or coming home or going away. That's you and I flying, here and there. So, I mean, that's pretty enormous. So I can remember, I mean, I've got some history with the airport. So before I don't know what I was probably about 17, 18. I worked for Canadian Regional at the time, and Canadian Regional had a large operation out of YXJ, which is now Air Canada. And then myself and Gord Clausen and Brent Hodson and Darren Thompson were also the committee for WestJet when WestJet was going to be naming some communities, and they were kind of having that, hey, come tell us why, your airport or your city is the best. And we flew to Calgary and met with the VPs and the operations part of WestJet and pleaded our case to Fort St. John. And now, I don't know if that's been maybe 5 years now or 4 years that they've been here.
That operation would have started, I believe, perhaps you went there to make that pitch in 2013, and the operation started in 2014. What we see when we look back, in 2014, there was a 36% jump in passenger traffic.
Oh, wow.
So that is the injection of WestJet Encore into the operation. And then when we look at subsequent years, 2015, minimal growth. And then 2016, the economic slowdown hit, and we actually saw a drop of 6%.
Okay, so pretty much recovering. So the gains this year have been a full recovery of any loss that's happened in the past, say, 3 years.
A full recovery plus more.
Full recovery plus. That's impressive, and I always look at that, and I don't think people understand what the importance of that kind of an increase is. And it's funny because they'll talk about oil and, oil prices, and they'll talk about real estate and real estate prices. But when you start to see that your local airport, has fully recovered and then some compared to, some of the bad years, that alone is a single showing of the strength that a community, a market, and an industry has to stand on its own.
For sure. There's been a lot of positive economic activity over 2018, that announcements that occurred in the area. And I think that drives business traffic for sure. But above that, it fuels a sense of optimism in the region, and that drives some of that leisure traffic that perhaps we weren't getting in 2015 and 16 because people aren't confident that the stability of their job, of their household, whereas now we're seeing that optimism getting into the leisure market, and people that were hesitating to go on a trip to Disney, a family vacation to Disneyland, are saying, yeah, we're going to do it.
Oh, perfect. Actually, that's a really good way to look at it. And I mean, you talk about the family trips to Disneyland or Maui or any of those places. And I mean, Fort St. John, with the amount of flights that go to Vancouver, the amount of flights that go to Calgary, services from multiple airlines, you can get anywhere in the world probably easier and quicker than you can from lots of other comparable markets.
Exactly. When you look at the way the schedule is structured, with 4 or 5 flights a day to Vancouver and 2 a day to Calgary, you can, in one connection, pretty much be where you want to go.
Yeah, which is phenomenal. I can remember years and years ago when I worked for Canadian Regional, and we literally had flights to Fort Nelson and Dawson Creek and Prince George and Vancouver, and it was all these flights that could have been and should have been, like we see now today, being lined up and marketed towards the fact that you can go from Fort St. John to anywhere. And, I see on Facebook lately, there's been a lot of talk from, neighboring community to South Dawson Creek, talking about the viability of their airport and the concerns of the amount of money they spend. And I look back and I think about our airport and how grateful I am that, we can be as proud as we are knowing that the business is growing, the leisure traffic is growing. Do you have any kind of a sense as to what 2019 may bring? Are you planning on maybe still increases over 2018?
We are. We've taken a modest approach to our growth projections. We're anticipating about 3% growth in passengers.
Yeah.
A lot of that is based on our airline partners and what's in their schedule. So that's what we would anticipate. Obviously, we're hoping for more.
Yeah, but even having that number of 3%, like I know when we look at growth in the community, and we look at even just things on the Fort St. John side, you look at 3% growth. That's not a small number. That's still a huge number unto itself, because 3% growth on 268,000 passengers, that's a big number.
Yes, it is. The airport itself has the capacity to handle that kind of growth and more. So we closely watch that to make sure that we don't bring on any unnecessary infrastructure. But certainly, at some point, we will be expanding the terminal probably in the next, I would say, 3 to 5 years.
And making it larger, maybe more gates or a larger security area?
Yes.
Which is probably needed.
A larger hold room and security area would be required. We're lucky to have sort of a pop-up kiosk operation now providing food and beverage in the hold room, which has been a big positive addition to our operation.
That's nice. That's really nice, because you've got the great cafe that's outside, but the minute you're going through security, you're tossing whatever you're carrying. So to be able to have that option on the inside of security's packed. You know what? Anytime I fly out of the airport with any of the airlines that are offered there, it's never a moment where you're sitting in there and there's 15 other people. You're sitting in there and there's hundreds of other people. It absolutely blows my mind. It's a beautiful terminal. I think anybody who doesn't realize that needs to see what the old one was, or when we had the Atco trailers, because it sure trumps anything that we've ever had. But it is a busy place.
For sure, at peak activity, it is a very busy place, but that's how an airport feels the best.
Oh, for sure it does.
When it's busy, that's when it's empty, it doesn't feel right.
No, and I see, both airlines are offering a ton of seat sales that have been happening for the last probably 2 months, or maybe the last month since Christmas. So it's easy and affordable right now for people to get into, maybe warmer destinations, which is kind of this time, right, between now and March. So that's going to be incredible. I'm excited to see any plans that you guys have going forward as far as expansions. You're already, building on top of a very successful model, which I think is huge. I, as a long-term resident, extremely proud of what our airport's become, and look forward to more growth from you guys.
Well, for sure, that's what we're planning for. And I'm fairly new to the region, but certainly my initial take is that I'm very impressed and frankly proud, as you are, of the airport and the frontline staff that we have here. They take a certain amount of pride in their contribution to the communities and to keeping the airport operational through sometimes some pretty challenging weather.
Oh, agreed.
So, for speaking as a fairly new person to the area, I am a really big booster of this airport and the people that work here.
I agree 100%. Well, Gord, it was great having you on the show. Love your guys' 6% increase. Congrats to you and, as I said, all your staff and everybody that's made it happen. I'm really looking forward to a follow-up down the road when we, because, I'm going to say this, and I'm not going to jinx it, but I'm just going to say that the job you guys are doing and the way the market's going, I think you're poised for even larger growth. But I love the fact that you've done the conservative model, because it really stands to show that, Fort St. John's Airport can handle it, the community can handle it, and we don't need to go anywhere else to get to anywhere in the world. We can do it right here from Fort St. John, which I think is pretty huge.
really looking forward to 2019, and thank you very much for the opportunity to speak with you today, Trev.
Thanks so much. We'll talk to you very soon.
For sure.
Bye-bye.
Bye now.
So that was another episode of Trev Talks. You heard it here. If you're wondering about the airport, check them out. They are as well on social media, as we talked about. The Flyers are too. And huge congrats to them, and looking forward to the Koi Cup. So get involved, stay warm, and have a great weekend. We'll see you next week.
You've been listening to Trev Talks, a weekly talk show about Fort St. John and the North Peace.